What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining. This is the Slightly Salty Squad. Tonight, we're going to be talking about news. But first, until Sregge gets on, we are going to be talking about Red Dead Redemption 2 because he somehow doesn't have this game yet, and somehow...
Shame.
Yeah, I don't know. More than that, I just don't know what to say with that. So I got it last night, 9 o'clock. Thanks to GameStop. I actually canceled the pre-order from Amazon, which I never do. But I found out you get it at 9 o'clock at GameStop versus Amazon having to wait. Doing the digital download, you have to wait. By the time I got home, installed it, updated it, I think it was 11 o'clock. So maybe I got an extra hour out of that whole effort, but have thoroughly enjoyed it. Had today off, got to play it
real
a
quick.
bunch.
Can you talk about the physical stuff?
Oh shit! Yeah, I'll be right back.
While ForceInept is running away, we'll talk about. I downloaded it digitally, which is why I'm asking that. I'm probably play just a couple hours in, so we'll probably talk about that. I wanted to stream it, but I really wanted to see it on my 4K TV, so that was the first thing I really did and played through. So I'm sure we'll talk about the more details of it, but I want to see what's the physical stuff because I haven't seen that actually.
Yeah, your note about playing on the TV. Yeah, I haven't been streaming it yet either because I also want to do it on my TV for a little bit first, get that real scenery. Oh, there's my dog.
Yeah, exactly.
And then enjoy it. So I got the Ultimate Edition, which comes with this nice, it's going to be super bright, Red Dead Redemption 2 steel book. It's gorgeous.
Nice.
Going to have that right next to my God of War and all that stuff. It's a 2-disc thing.
Nice.
Took
So what's the second disc?
forever. One is a data disc. That took 45 minutes to install, I want to say. And then it's like halfway through the install process on the PlayStation, it's like, oh, by the way, we're done with this disc. Now insert the other disc to install the rest of it.
Wow.
That was a new process for me. Even, well, I mean, I was going to say the last multi-disc game I think I played was a Final Fantasy on PlayStation 2
Yeah,
maybe.
I was thinking the same thing. Final Fantasy had multiple discs, but
Yeah.
I did forget that GTA 5 had multiple discs as well for online and multiplayer for when it was out for like PS3 and 360, which is really weird to believe that game has been out for so long. Because remember they released it, re-released it again.
Yeah, that's one of those few games that I've bought on multiple systems: PS3, PS4, PC, and I love it all the same. Let's see. I got this little piece of paper that just says "Download the companion app." That's all it is.
That's it.
Helpful. Glad they printed on that. Ultimate Edition got me the several things. Let me read them out here. Bank robbery mission and gang hideout. No idea what that is yet. Dappled black thoroughbred. I do have that horse now, and I fucking love it. The Nuevo Paraiso gunslinger outfit. I am wearing part of that outfit, I think. Talisman and medallion gameplay bonuses. Don't know what those are yet. I think they're my spurs, maybe. Gameplay boost, cash bonuses, and discounts. Don't see any of those yet. I believe that might have to do more with the multiplayer once that finally releases. And plus, get 3 weapons free at gunsmiths. Should have read that one. I've only gotten one, and I thought that's all I got. So I've gotten a varmint rifle. Haven't even used it yet. So yeah, I should probably use that. Oh, never mind. Plus additional bonuses for online. See, I haven't even fucking read this yet. Bonus outfits, free Survivor Camp theme, rank bonuses, black chestnut thoroughbred, and free access to additional weapons. So, hoping that's not too much pay to win, but at the same time, I got it, so too bad. And then just for the pre-order bonus, you still get this piece of paper in here. It is the Warhorse and Outlaw Survival Kit. I actually haven't been using that either. What up, Mike?
What up,
What up,
Sregge?
dudes?
We are talking Red Dead Redemption. Try our best not to spoil anything for you. Let me just modify these names real quick so that makes a little more sense to everybody. Look at this shit on the fly.
Look at you.
God,
What a
just
guy.
fucking pro over
It's
here.
almost like you're professional.
I mean, almost. For some reason, your opacity is not set. Boom. Okay, I'm gonna lock that shit down. Okay, and since we're talking about Red Dead, let me just throw that up there too. So yeah, that's the pre-order bonus. So I actually have an extra one of those. So if any lucky fan wants one, I got one from Amazon that was not redeemed. But you also get this. Let's rip it. Map of New Hanover. It's gigantic.
Dang.
Of New Austin. It's got cool old-timey photos and like locations, like sketches and things throughout there. But then because of the Ultimate Edition, you get this fucking just massive map, super high quality print, color. You've got maps of towns on the back as well. And this might be one of the very few times I consider actually framing one of these because it is beautiful. It is, not sure if you can read it there, 1899 official limited map of a portion of the United States. So definitely cool. Unboxing. I had plenty of time. What up, Lampy? Had plenty of time to look at all those and apparently not read some of it while installing that game because it was massive. Yeah, but now playing the game, I totally understand why it is gigantic. So maybe before I talk, so Deion, you've been playing today because you had to work. Sucks.
Yeah, no. Doesn't that suck?
Sucks.
Yeah, I played a couple hours in, and I don't think it's spoiling anything by just saying I'm like in the what I believe is like the starting area, starting zone, right? Still going through like this intro phase, but showing you the basics, right? Hunting and like all that type of stuff and the basic mechanics. God dang, does this game look fucking great though, man? I mean, really, this game looks great. We knew that, but it's just like I'm like there's the if you hold down like for like PlayStation like the touchpad button you like go into cinematic mode all the time.
Yeah.
And I like when I'm like on those like long rides I'm always like on cinematic mode so that way I can just sit back and enjoy. Yeah, I do that more often. Like those parts where you're kind of like in the woods and you're like with one other person.
Gotcha.
Like Dutch or something. You guys are just talking. I'm like, oh, let's put on cinematic mode.
That's a fair point. Yeah, when you ride alongside people, it kind of does somewhat of the like autopilot. You can kind of have it do alongside them. That makes a lot more sense. I've tried to do it by myself now that I'm in the free roam area, and then I just kind of veer off the path as I'm in cinematic mode because I can't figure out what angle I'm driving it at and shit like that. So then I look like a dumbass. But yeah, so you're playing on the PS4 Pro. Actually, we all have PS4 Pro, so gorgeous looking. I will eventually be streaming it, like we were talking about. Once I'm satiated with doing it on the 4K TV, then I'll move it in here and actually stream while I play it. So as you were talking about, you're kind of in the entry area. You still learn things. I'm in chapter 2, so it is broken into chapters. Not that much further ahead, I don't think, because I tend to have explored a lot of things. But once you get into that open world, it's very cool. It's almost daunting to an extent, though, just because it's so massive. And you're like, oh, okay, I have a mission here. Holy shit, that's a far ride. And then, as much as I love it, as far as the kind of interactive world and everything like that, I'm riding by and it's like, and I don't think this is a spoiler since, I'm not sure if that pops up on this or not. I don't think it does. sorry, when you're riding and these little, events in the world happen. For example, there's one where a lady's horse died, so she was asking me if, I could take her and take her home, essentially. And I'm playing a hero. I'll talk a little bit about that later, how I'm not so much of a hero. But playing a hero, and I pick her up. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to be the good guy, take her home. And then it's like, oh God, that's so far away. Like, that's going to take me, in real life, minutes to go over there, and then minutes to come back. And I'm like, but I'm a good guy. Shit. Okay. So I'll do that. Have you, chapter 1, I'm trying to think, have you had any of those kind of non-scripted experiences yet?
I don't really think so. Besides, like doing the hunting, and that type of stuff.
Okay.
Not really where it was just like random stuff.
Gotcha.
I was just like, like you're in a house and it's like, yeah, go loot some shit, and I'm just like, I could tell like I could get caught up in all the other stuff because I like spent way too like the guy's like, hurry up, come on, and I'm just like, there's still stuff. I'm picking up cans and like looking through everything, and like I just couldn't help but try to look through everything.
I'm not gonna lie, that's one of, I know in real life they would probably be saying that, but that's one of my critiques in this game. I get that a lot from a lot of kind of little submissions and stuff like that. It's like, hurry up, we're waiting on you. But there's bodies. I have to loot the bodies. What do you mean we're going? But
Yeah, dude.
yeah, it's been fantastic. The bounties I've started to do, and those are very cool. Even just little side stories as far as getting a bounty poster, seeing what it looks like, who the person is. They each have their unique reason, why you're hunting them. It's not just like, this person murdered someone, go get them. It's like backstories. And even though they're not related to the story at all, I don't even want to talk about them or spoil them because they are that enjoyable. And once you get through a few, I can't wait to actually do more of like a spoiler cast one where we can talk about shit like that that's, part of the game. Question for you though, as you start, before we kind of get into our actual news and stuff, is there anything that you're disappointed with in the game so far?
Good question. Man, disappointed.
I know it's tough. The game's amazing. Don't get me wrong. Like, probably, and I hate to say this over God of War at this point in the game, I'm assuming it's going to be my game of the year. It's kind of like teetering right there because God of War's a fucking high ass benchmark, but I think it'll overcome it if it continues this way. I should say.
Yeah, it feels that way, right? I think the story has to, you have to feel completed with the story in order for, in my opinion, to compare that against God of War. Like, it has to match up there. But I don't know. It's too early for me, honestly. It's been a couple hours. I like some of the functions. I like the hitting the L2 while you're doing like on the trail somewhere. You can ask additional questions to people.
Yeah.
I mean, everything just feels like it built off of GTA 5 in order to, get to the level that it's at. Shut had to drop off. He's trying to restart.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's still early for me. I mean, I really liked the hunting was cool. The bow stuff kind of messed me up. Did you have that problem? If you pull too hard on the trigger, you get a little jolted.
Yeah, I'm still kind of working through that. Hunting becomes fairly key. I will kind of leave it at that. And actually, that's one point. I feel like I'm overemphasizing it too much in the game right now, where I'm not sure if I necessarily need to. So that's one thing I feel like they kind of leave it open to an extent on purpose, but then I'm not sure if I should be dedicating this much time to certain things. Yeah.
Do you still, in your place right now, feel like you're kind of in a like my health isn't like all the way full, but I just feel like, oh, I got to keep these cans and stuff like that because I don't know the type of shit that I'm going to get into.
Right.
And because I feel like it's like survival mode right now, right? Like you're trying to get food for everybody, you're trying to eat. Does that change over time? Have you felt that change or?
No, my
You
health
just have a
is
bunch of shit now, and you're just kind of like, oh, now I don't give a shit. I just eat whatever I want.
no. So it still kind of limits you, at least where I'm at. I haven't upgraded a bunch of like my satchel yet or anything like that, and I definitely keep it and maintain it. But then there's some other mechanics that makes you want to get food as well. I don't want to spoil too much. Well,
Mm-hmm.
actually, I think it's in the trailers and shit. So you have like a camp and a bunch of people with you. So it's like
Right.
you're helping provide for them, and that's what I'm not sure how, if I'm overemphasizing that portion and not like too much or not.
Mm.
But yeah, so some of the mechanics and things I'm still learning. Like there's still things that I'm like getting those mini tutorials on, like some of the games and certain type of like a quick draw. I just got fairly recently actually is how to do the actual like holstered quick draw type mechanic. So I was surprised. I thought maybe that was just not in the game. I'm not sure why I even considered that not being in the game, but it wasn't until recently that I actually had those mechanics actually explained. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know if I knew that was. I just thought it was like, oh, well, it's good, with the L2 or whatever.
Right.
That's interesting. Now that you're saying that though, I do remember some of that stuff in the original one. Like I remember the shootouts like that. I remember like what's that game called where you have the knife and you have to like stab in between your fingers.
Oh,
Um,
fuck! I
like
literally,
a lot of
I
that
literally played it today. But yeah, so yeah, games like that are fun. They're all different mechanics to them, so it's not like it's the same from the original, which I do like the version
cool.
of how they're doing
Mm-hmm.
that. And why is my webcam keep focusing and shit like that? Oh well, I might not be able to do this while I'm doing it, but
Yeah, I will say, I don't know, it's been good so far. Since oh man, you just
oh
made yourself
no,
hella
I'm all
blurry.
blurry.
Do the opposite of
The
what you just
opposite
did.
of what I actually just did. Hmm. Hmm. Oh my god, too many screens up. Sorry everybody for this fun time right here. Okay, we're putting it on auto. I'm gonna not move around as much.
All right, so I'm gonna throw out an early spoiler. If you don't want to listen, just mute for just like 10 seconds, okay? So at the beginning, um, we knew that at some point John Marston would be in the game, but it was really cool having that intro of like going to get him,
yeah.
because like they were saying John earlier, and I was like, is that John Marston? And they were like, oh Marston, where are you? Like calling out for him and shit like that, and getting him off like the mountain, like that was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That was very cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see kind of more things like that as they kind of evolve over time and some of the character dynamics and getting those backstories. Um, the biggest grief I had, and it actually got better today once I stopped apparently being an idiot, the menu system. And if there's a tooltip that you somehow didn't see or whatever, sometimes I can super hamper you. Like pulling up the map. Didn't see the tooltip apparently that says if you hold, excuse me, if you hold the start button / options button, it will
Yeah.
forever be called the start button. If you hold the start menu button, it pops up automatically.
Uh,
I missed that. I've been hitting start and then hitting map every single time. And then I finally was just messing around in the menus and different tools and shit like that. And then saw that come up. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I've been doing this for, I don't know, 8 hours now. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think I'm still getting, and I don't know if it's like muscle memory or not, but like I'm getting used to where things are in the UI. So like I've like accidentally pulled out my journal a couple times
yeah.
because I needed to hit left on the D-pad and I hit right or something like that. I do really like the whole like getting shit off your horse and that type of thing though. I mean that just feels like really natural.
Yeah, I was a little concerned. It's almost how it's too realistic, but the more I'm playing it, the more I'm appreciating it. Although
Are you
not,
storing a bunch of shit in your horse? Do you just have like 80 cans of food and just all the shit inside your horse?
no, No, because I got to the camp thing and then I kind of stopped doing that as much.
Gotcha.
But now I've gone. So you hunt animals, you can skin them. If it's a big animal, if it's like a duck or a rabbit or whatever, you can tie it to the side of your horse. So you got like a few options you can do there. But if it's like a deer or what's a smaller thing, like a wolf, you can throw it over the back of your horse. But then you can't. If I shoot another deer, I can't throw a deer on there too. So I got to be like selective with what I'm doing. Or if I have a deer that I can't wait to take back to camp and skin, which is fucking brutal, by the way. Wow. I showed my girlfriend and she was like, oh my God. And like went to the other room because she was like, no, that's disgusting. So look forward to that. But I have this nice deer, super proud of it, and then I have to like hog tie somebody and put them on my back. I have to get rid of my deer carcass to put this person on the back. So it's very realistic, and I appreciate it. But at the same time, I'm like, son of a bitch. But
yeah.
Also, critically injured my horse for the first time, and felt terrible, and was like emotionally attached to this. Luckily, I had something to like help save it and whatever. But they're consumables, but they're expensive, and you can only have like 2 or 3 at a time type thing. And I was like, oh God, no, please don't die. Please don't die. And that was rough. Horses are super realistic in this game. Testicles and all, but jumping over things, breaking their leg or whatever, it's fucking brutal. But
yeah, I felt a little bit of emotion when I shot at a deer and then I like injured it but didn't kill it.
Ooh.
And so it's like rah, rah, like making noise and it's like pull out the knife, like how do you finish this?
Ooh, I'm trying to figure out how I can get this up here. Sorry, one second. I gotta show you a picture I just took. As I was talking about earlier, that like I'm playing a hero, but at the same time, like, don't fuck with me because. So this guy didn't pay his bill, didn't have money on him, and then tried to run off. I may or may not have hogtied him, left him on the tracks. I didn't kill him, so I'm still a hero in my book. But definitely left him over there.
You are a goddamn savage.
Yeah, you know, it happens. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to. As soon as we're done here, I'm going back to play. Tomorrow or Sunday, I'm gonna probably actually hook it up and start streaming it. I'm just trying to get that baseline in on the 4K TV before I like hook it up to my shitty TV for streaming. Okay. Let's see. Should we? Well, actually, do we want to do housekeeping first and talk about? Oh no. That's a lot of us. There we go. I just broke the internet for a second there. So real quick, yeah. Housekeeping. Extra Life is next Saturday. So between us, we will be streaming throughout the day. Any donations right now, go to Extra Life. Supports the Orlando Health Winnie Palmer Hospital for Children, and any donations are accepted. So more to come on that. We'll be tweeting about it and posting on Instagram and all that stuff. So please support. Thanks. Means a lot, not only to us but to our community as well. And on that note, should we go into the news?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Let's
do the news.
Okay, and I'm going to throw it over to SuperNerdFresh / Deion. We actually never did introductions. Fuck it. Our names are on there. That's who we are.
Yeah, names are right here, guys. You guys can read, I'm sure. So.
All right, let's get into it. Just a couple things to talk through. PlayStation 5 rumors, right? So they did a job posting for a senior product manager, and kind of in that like description line of the things that they wanted out of that, right? To quote, as part of this hands-on position, you will work across partners, product, and engineering, and contribute to develop and growth of PlayStation Intelligence platform. You will own the roadmap for next generation PlayStation campaign.
Damn.
So a lot of
Wonder how
people are
much that pays.
speculating that. Yeah, tell me about it, bro. And so that kind of leads to rumors that Sony will announce PlayStation 5 in early 2019, before launching it either in that or in 2020. So we'll see where that goes. One thing I wanted to note, just that I've heard from other places too, is we are kind of approaching a new generation of consoles. It's been, John, can you tell Nala to shut up while I do the news?
Nala doesn't like these PlayStation 5 rumors at all.
Right. She's like, no. But this will be the 5th year that the PS4 has been released. So, I mean, we're at 5 years of this current generations of consoles. And keep in mind that we were very spoiled by having a long PS3, 360 gap. So
yeah, I really don't think it's going to be that soon, just because of the iterative nature of this generation. Because it's been more of kind of like the PC thing, where it's like, oh, we're going to do these little incremental upgrades and get a lot more out of it. I think 2020 even is soon. I think 2021 is when we'll actually see the console. But it'll be interesting, especially when the I forgot what the Microsoft one is, but then Project Stream with Google too, like that. I have to imagine it's going to drastically shift it. I know Sony president already said that there's going to be a console, but I'm curious to see how that maybe shifts, or if it's going to be in addition to this other service or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
There's been a lot of general rumors that, eventually we'll get to a place where, your consoles are more of a streaming device than they are an actual, hardware piece where you're actually, have to have a beefy graphics card or whatnot in it. I don't know if we're there yet. I don't know what you can, what can you put in the PS5 right now, like just a better graphics card, because it's doing 4K, it's doing HDR and all the high dynamic stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many new things you can really do besides just, again, like making it match up to a PC. What do you think, Mike?
I think it's interesting because it was last year or so, there were rumors going around about trade-in programs for consoles similar to how we have cell phones today, and you pay your whatever fee. You rent your console, and then you essentially trade it up every year. And so you're right; it's harder to get those sort of bigger, more impactful upgrades now because things are coming so quickly. But you can get these nice, tiny micro upgrades: a new processor, a new graphics card, more RAM, whatever, year by year, and sort of trade in. But I think it's interesting with sort of the direction that everybody's going right now with streaming. Is that even viable anymore? If you can game on a shitty Chromebook like we talked about last week,
Right.
does it make sense to pay $500 or $600 with a console?
No.
I don't know.
And most of the Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, historically they've lost out on sales by selling these consoles because they have to sell them cheap for all these consumers. Whereas, if they can have some giant server farm in mass, I would think there's a savings there. Otherwise, Microsoft and Google wouldn't be going that route. There wouldn't be cost effective for them to go that route.
Well, software as a service is really a very lucrative way to go, right?
Is
because
it?
they can. I think so.
Weird.
Because they can own all the hardware on their end. They can scale up or scale down now, however they need to, with the wonderful technology that they have over at Amazon. And it doesn't really, they're not taking that hit, right? So companies lose a lot of money with these consoles. They go through massive production. costs, and then end up selling them for just about what they used to make them, and then really they're making all their money on the games.
Right.
But if I can charge you $30 a month, not only is that guaranteed revenue, where I only buy 2 games a year, and so you're not really guaranteed to get that money out of me. But if it's $30 auto drafted and I can play unlimitedly, I'm going to keep that money coming, and they're guaranteed to get that money. It also helps them as far as projections for annual things, right? So, for instance, I set up for what is it, the Stars Premium Pass or whatever for AMC, the AMC Plus.
AMC A-list.
Yeah. So you can't actually cancel that for the first 90 days, which is great for them because once they get that sign up, they can already put that money in the bank as far as that guaranteed revenue. So they got was it $20, $40, $60 out of me, and then $60 from my wife guaranteed over that next 90 days. Right now, they can't do that with games. Like, we kind of know we're going to spend money because we got Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out, and we have the Red Dead Redemption that's coming out, and then, Last of Us or whatever. But there's no real way to sort of lock in that revenue.
Right.
And I think that this is there's money to be made there, I think.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, cool. So switching topics to the next one. DICE employees. Recently, for the year, 40 people have left DICE, 2 developers recently, and still not confirmed from DICE, but a lot of speculation is because of Battlefront 2 and just the things that have happened with that and the controversies and just all the shit that we're all aware of. But more people are tending to believe that is the root cause of a lot of people leaving for the year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned this right before we started, and I actually hadn't heard this one yet. So I've been thinking about it, and Battlefront 2, surprisingly, is actually releasing another big update soon with like Clone Wars era stuff, like you can play as General Grievous or something like that. And I'm curious if that's meaning like, okay, they finished this and they're kind of starting to maybe push people out or starting to rein back things. Obviously, I wouldn't think they would just leave of their own free will because of that, but with those companies now, it's kind of hard to say who does what under what NDA and shit like that.
I think this is another really interesting case, right? Because I'm not really a big financial guy or anything like that. But games, they are a business, right? They're there to make money, and so Battlefront 2 was really a bit of an anomaly in the people fought back, right? If you think back to the sort of microtransactions and the community was just like, fuck this, man. You're literally going to make me work a full-time job for 9 months to unlock your content after I paid you, $60 for the game.
Yeah.
We refuse. And then they went back and forth, and they're like, okay, well, here's all the characters. And then they brought the characters back at a reduced cost. I think there's something to be said about projected revenue against these microtransactions based on data they've had from previous games, and then that whole model sort of broke apart and crumbled in their hands.
Oh, yeah.
And then what did that do to their reputation? Because I know me, I get very, I don't know, uptight about that kind of shit, right? And so personally, I've not purchased the game because of all that drama, and I don't think they handled that situation very well. And I can't be the only one, And so I think you might be right. They may be getting to a point right now where they can't necessarily support a team. And so what does that mean? And really, what is their environment over there like right now, knowing that they put all their blood, sweat, and tears into this game, and the community basically just spit it back in their face?
Yeah, and that's the thing that I'm sure none of those developers are like, yeah, let's do microtransactions. Let's make this super shitty. And, I mean, I did not work on it. I don't know what their environment was, but if I had that opportunity to go and work on a Star Wars game, which I'm sure a lot of them were super Star Wars fans, and that was like a passion of theirs, only to see the outcome of this, the initial one at least, just fucking go down. I'm surprised tons of people didn't leave sooner, to be honest. But they have worked really hard, and I've played it only a handful of times, but since they redid the progression and redid all this stuff, it's actually a much better game. But unfortunately, at that point, it was kind of like too little too late. It has a dedicated
The damage has been done.
Yeah, but it's not ever going to be like the Call of Duty fan base or some shit like that because of that stigma. Those dedicated players are playing it. They're enjoying it from what I hear. And I'm glad they're still putting out the content, but at what point are you going to just like cut your losses and move on to the next, hopefully awesome
and I could be
franchise?
Right. I could be way off base. It's just, I think it's an interesting question, right? Because there's definitely somebody had to go back and rework the books after this whole thing and go, shit, our projected revenue is not, it's not no longer trending in that direction, and then what kind of impacts does that have to the business?
Big time. Overall, oh man, it really messes with me because obviously John's a Star Wars nerd. We all love Star Wars, but like,
You're
man,
Star Wars
like
shirt.
that.
Oh wait, I am too.
But it's not like that game is a good game and they fucked it up. Like that game is a good game and they fucked it up real bad. And they tried to do the cleanup right, and then you don't need to have the pay to win as much anymore. And then they kept putting out new content, but it was too fucking late. They fucked the game up. The community rose against it. And that tarnish is just there. I bet if I was some of those people, it kind of sucks to be like, oh yeah, you're a developer. What game are you working on? And they're like Battlefront 2. It's like,
ooh,
like
about that. Yeah, that sucks.
Cool.
So speaking of unfortunate Star Wars news, do you guys hear about The Mandalorian?
No.
Wait.
What are you about to say?
So jumping out of games here just for a minute, The Mandalorian was the Boba Fett, or sorry, not The Mandalorian, the Boba Fett movie.
Yes.
Ended up dying. They pulled the plug in favor of The Mandalorian, which is supposed to be that Jon Favreau TV series. But they, man, what is her name? Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy.
Mentioned
Lucasfilm.
Mentioned that basically after what they called the flop of Solo. They pulled the plug on the Boba Fett movie.
I fucking love this movie. And no spoilers, but I hope they make a movie based on the surprise character that was in it.
Yeah, they canceled an unrelated movie based on that movie's production. I don't know that they're going to do a sequel.
They still haven't said... I'm trying to think if this will spoil it. Nah, because anybody that would know it would actually... No, the spoiler.
Fuck it, they had 6 months. If you guys haven't seen the movie yet, put your fingers in your ears or, go watch a movie.
So, Darth Maul's in it. Surprise. But they haven't said anything about the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Hopefully
that was
starring Ewan McGregor. Fucking hope so.
That would be super cool.
And him and Darth Maul always have a thing going back and forth in Clone Wars. So, and there's like an ending in Clone Wars, but like if they do it before that, amazing.
So that's an interesting point, and I wonder if it was easier for them to pull the plug in the Boba Fett movie with The Mandalorian coming out, and maybe they did one of these numbers. They're like, well, let's take one over the other.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why they haven't said anything yet about Obi-Wan. So I don't know.
I hope so. Instead of shoving 2 movies out a year or a movie every year even. Let's rein it back. Let's do one right. Let's focus on it, but we'll see. I feel like we got really off topic there. My bad, Dan.
Sorry, we were talking about Star Wars stuff, and I kind of went over left field.
Yeah, it actually worked. Switching modes, the game, Days Gone, which you guys are probably aware of, like that open world zombie game, right?
Yes.
I forgot that Sony actually is the publisher for that game, but they announced that they are pushing their date back, so they got delayed. Most likely it's to get away from some of the other bigger games. And John, I know you and I were talking about what the date is, but I actually just looked up on PlayStation's website, and they actually have the date of April 26th, 2019.
That's not too bad. When was the original date that they pushed it back?
I don't remember.
Wait,
April's not too bad. I thought it was going to be out like holiday next year anyway. Interesting.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be right around the time of the fucking Oh my god, I'm blanking on this game. The BioWare game that everybody's hyped for, but now I'm super concerned about. Anthem and Division 2. So those 2 are going to be blockbusters, even if they're shitty. So
February 22nd was the original date, by the way.
February 22nd was original. Okay, yeah. So
thank God I didn't have the money to buy any games in February anyway. So. You guys are killing me. Slow down.
This fall.
Yeah, I'm still going to be playing all of the other games that I missed this year. and
right, exactly.
Speaking of game missed, sorry, I'm probably jumping ahead one. the Spider-Man DLC.
Nope, that's exactly where we're at. Yeah.
Missed that drop. Totally missed it. I knew it was around Red Dead. Didn't realize it was this week. Sorry, Spider-Man. I fucking loved you, and I'm going to go back and 100% you, but...
No,
You wanna throw up the trailer real quick, if you can? You on the spot.
I could probably do that.
Yeah. So this is... What's it? The city... Is it the city that never sleeps? Is that the name of the... I don't know the name of the
video.
No, I didn't do anything.
Okay.
Oh, it's called the Heist. So the Heist is featuring Black Cat.
So the initial reviews on it were pretty good. I think there were 7s and 8s. They said that it was a lot of the repetitive stuff, but the storyline was good. I think they said it was between 3 and 5 hours, I guess, depending on how quickly you get through the content. Which is pretty cool.
Really? Okay.
Gotcha.
Hopefully this one's good. Here, we'll throw a video in there too, or sound in there.
See, Miss
Sorry, you
May.
guys probably won't be able to hear that.
Felicia.
Probably get DMC.
Catch me if you can.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, personally, it's just one of those cool things that I'll just go back to, and after I'm get my Red Dead fix and stuff like that, I'll jump right back into the DLC and jump right back into Spider-Man. So I mean, it's cool, and I haven't looked up how often they're doing the other DLCs. Do you guys know?
I do. November 2018 is Turf Wars, and Silver Lining is December 2018. So that's amazing that they're putting out 3 DLC each, roughly a month apart. That's
What's even more amazing is you pull those numbers completely out of your ass. I didn't know that was fantastic.
Just so good at that. So good at that. So, yeah. Pumped. Such a good game. It's on my short list for Game of the Year, but not, like, it's not above God of War. And unless Red Dead really tanks, it's not above Red Dead. It is a fun-ass game. Just enjoyable game. But it's not that next level game changer. Games nowadays need to be like excellent. This was great, but there's so many excellent games out there. Even some of like the indie games now, it's just damn.
And I think right now the market is really, the consumers are really more gravitating to those narrative type games. And so while Spider-Man had a great story, it wasn't really what made the game great. It was, wrestling around to Spider-Man and doing the fighting and that kind of stuff. God of War was a phenomenal story. Red Dead is going to be a great combination of story and of gameplay. And so, yeah, I don't think that Spider-Man can hold a candle.
Yep.
Great. I just have a couple. So this is the last thing I have. For Steam, I got some dates on the sales that they got coming up. Not like I have so many damn games. I don't even like. I always want to buy stuff off the sale, but it's like I have too many games. But Halloween, the Halloween sale for Steam is October 29th through November 1st. The autumn sale is November 21st through November 27th, and then the winter sale is December 20th through January 3rd. So pretty much you just got like a couple weeks in between those dates. So like it's like another 3 weeks if you miss the sale, that you can just jump right on the next sale. So I don't know what they have offering or what they plan on having offering, but if you miss some of these great games this year, I'm sure you can grab something off the Steam sale. That's probably your best opportunity to do that. So keep an eye out for that.
Sorry, real quick, I do need to jump back to the God of War comments along Red Dead Redemption because Santa Monica Studio shared this on their Instagram, and it's amazing. When you remember to preload your copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 ahead of time, congrats on an incredible launch. So good.
I fucking love those guys over at Santa Monica Studios. Yeah. They have such a great sense of humor. They're such cool guys.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. Also, I'm pretty sure that's the same character model as fuck. Damn it, the joke's gone. Never mind. I'll come back.
We'll circle back.
McGregor. It's the same character model as McGregor in the latest UFC.
Ah, yes.
There it is. There it is.
God damn it.
This is double
Drop the ball. Sorry. This is live internet. I dropped the ball.
It was alright. Things happen.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Well, like, I'm not gonna like kick everybody like right now, but like, I'm ready for some Red Dead Redemption 2.
Well, usually we do it after this. Is what are you playing?
Oh, fair.
But like, I mean, I'm playing Red Dead. You're playing Red Dead. Mike, what you playing? What are you playing, bro?
Pokemon Go. After buying my Tesla, I'm fucking broke. So I've been playing Spider-Man still and some Pokemon Go. I did want to talk about the new Halloween event they have going on. So they do have a new special research quest, which is actually Spiritomb, which is not a mythical Pokemon, which is a little bit weird because the last two have been Celebi and Mew. So that's pretty interesting, though it's much shorter than the previous quests. Though the requirement's ridiculous. I don't know if you guys are still playing.
Fucking 108 berries or something.
108 berries, and then catch 108 Pokemon. After that, I just
the next one.
Yeah,
I saw on the berry one. I'm at like 80 or 90.
Some people already have it. I don't. I'm at like 70 or 80 berries. I'm still on the first part of the quest, but it's a bit ridiculous.
Red Dead today is going to cause me to miss my first Pokestop streak in a long time.
Fucking amateur, man. You gotta pick your game.
I know.
I am really enjoying the new Gen 4 Ghost Pokemon that they have out. So they have Drifloon and a handful of others. Especially the Drifloon can be shiny, which is pretty cool. I have awful shiny luck when it comes to these like event Pokemon, but that is pretty neat.
You haven't seen a shiny yet.
For Drifloon or
for Drifloon, yeah.
Oh yeah. The other thing I thought was really cool is they're doing a Gengar event that's similar to the 3 legendary bird events that they did this year for all of the global events. So they'll be doing, it's like a 3-hour event where you get 5 extra raid passes, and it'll be Gengar raids all over the place, and you have a chance of getting a shiny Gengar, which is pretty cool. Yeah, he's one of my favorite Gen ones.
Yeah, Gengar is awesome.
I don't have a shiny one. I actually just
at the very least go out and get an absurd amount of experience and all that. Oh. And if you guys get banned for this is not my fault. Please use it for discretion. But you can actually change your time zone forward to Japan and get another 5 passes after you use the 5 free passes you have. I did that for all 3.
Wow, look at this guy.
Yeah, well, it's just a clever usage of the game's mechanics. It's not actually cheating because it's in the game.
That's like how we got to play the Division early because we VPN'd into.
You don't have to tell everybody that. Yeah.
That was a while ago. That was like a couple years ago. We're good now.
2 other things I want to talk about for Pokemon Go. Number 1, Giratina raid. That should be really cool. I'm actually going to get to go out this weekend and do one for the first time. But it's a dragon ghost Pokemon, really big and huge, and he looks super freaking sweet.
I tried to get him yesterday while I was at Epcot and did a raid successfully. Could not catch him because I was on Team Mystic, which had the least amount of participation. I got like 6 Pokeballs and I could not catch him even with Golden Razzes.
So I raid with my wife now, and we're best friends, and so I get an extra like 4 balls just for raiding with her.
Oh no shit!
So I've gotten up to 15 balls in a single raid once, which is pretty cool.
Loving those balls.
Yeah, loving balls everywhere. The last thing, which I think is actually probably the coolest thing, is something that's been asked for repeatedly for the last 2 years. I don't know if you guys have heard about Adventure Sync.
For the Let's Go Eevee and.
No. For Pokemon Go. So this is something that they announced this week. Adventure Sync will actually use your Apple Health and your Google Fit app to track all your steps and then sync them with the game. So you can now track your steps for eggs and for candies without actually having the game open and draining your phone. In fact, I think they said you don't even have to have your game on. It'll just sync up when you load the game.
That's perfect.
Which is fantastic.
No, I don't.
Because otherwise you had to buy their little freaking medallion thing, and then even that only worked if your phone was on and your Bluetooth happened to stay connected and your battery was there, and yada, yada, yada. So I'm really excited about that. And I think what I'm really happy about is that this game's over 2 years old now, and they're still making these major enhancements, you know, and I think that's pretty cool.
Honestly, I feel like it's picking up steam. Maybe it's just me lately and more people I know getting into it lately with the Gen 4 release and everything like that, but it's we did the Pokemon Go Community Day down at Disney Springs, and it was insane. I've never seen so many people with more than 2 phones out at a time playing games. Guys had like trays with like 5 phones in them, playing them all at once. I'm like, holy shit, what is happening?
Well, trading came out, 4 months ago? And at that point, they had hit a higher player count than they did upon their initial launch. So yes, within the last 6 months, they have hit the highest player count they've had. You're absolutely right. This game is picking up steam. And I'm not like super mega Pokemon Go fanboy, but that's the only thing I have to talk about this week. So I'm just trying to make the most of the situation.
I mean,
but it is pretty impressive. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. That's all I've been playing today. That's all I'll probably be playing for a while. I was a little sad. I traveled this week, so I didn't get to play much Assassin's Creed this week. I did try to play it at my hotel with super shitty Wi-Fi. Didn't work out well on Project Stream, so I just kind of abandoned that hope. Granted, that's the hotel's fault. Even on my phone, the Wi-Fi was shitty for like Reddit and stuff. So another one was I've been playing Celeste on the flights while I was traveling. So Celeste has been amazing so far and surprisingly deep and introspective and all that shit. More so than you'd expect from a 2D platforming game, sitting on a plane, making you think about your life while playing a video game. And I'm like, what is happening? But it's amazing. It's so good. But
Yo, John, you let me borrow that Assassin's Creed while you're playing that Red Dead?
oh yeah, I can let you borrow that.
Ooh, nice.
I'm gonna be there in 20 minutes.
I mean, that's perfectly fine. Cool. Yeah, Red Dead. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I've been playing. I mean, Assassin's Creed has been great though, and I'm definitely going back. What actually I like about it, Project Stream, is because you have until January, and you will technically lose your save. Like that, like I have to do it now. So like that forces me, like I have to go back and play for the rest. I mean, but I'm having a great time. I just know I'm gonna get sidetracked from Red Dead, but the game is fun too, man. I don't know if it'll, might not be game of the year, but like we gotta reflect, like, which I know we will, but like great fucking year for games. Great year for games.
It's
Yeah, and next year's looking even better. I'm so blown away with the content that's coming out now.
Yeah. Any other year, I could have, maybe not any other year, a lot of recent years, I could have probably split these games up and had each one be game of the year over the course of several years. It's just this year you got competition like no other. So great time to be a gamer.
Yeah, it is. Expensive time to be a gamer, but it's great.
Yeah, a little expensive. Okay, well, anything else before we...
Yeah, one last thing for those of you guys who ordered the goodie bag from BlizzCon, but aren't actually going to BlizzCon. I got my shipping notification today, so check your emails and see if it's coming out. They said initially they were going to ship it on the 1st, so it's about a week early, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Very cool. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, everybody, and hope you're enjoying Red Dead, and let us know what you think. Comments, tweet us, Instagram, whatever you want. Please reach out, though. We enjoy the engagement and the community, of course. And again, can't plug it enough, Extra Life next week. Please support, and donations go to a great cause. Thanks, and see you next time.
Bye,
Thanks, guys. Bye.